Miami. See, that's just an opening cheap political line. It's good to be back in Miami. But Joey Hunt, our state insurance commissioner, was the world's greatest person identifying with the crowd. Now, Carol can say, it's good to be back in Miami. Joey Hunt, we were here in this town. Fred Harris was running for the U.S. Senate. Joey Hunt, we were here. The Democratic candidates, this is Don Parsons, we were here. And Joey Hunt gets up and says, it's good to be back in Miami. I was born not far from here. And the crowd cheered. We're for you, Joe. Local boy. He's from this area. Well, next night we're in Broken Bow. Joey Hunt gets up and says, it's good to be back in Broken Bow. I was born not far from here. People go, we love you, Joe. Shout, Little Dixie Boy. We don't send many of them to the state camp. We're glad to have you back. The next time we were in the Panhandle. And Joey Hunt gets up in the Panhandle and says, it's good to be back in the Panhandle. I was born not far from here. The crowd stood and cheered. Not many people from the Panhandle get elected to the state office. And one of them said, I think he dated my sister in high school here. And the next night we were in Chickasha. And Joey Hunt gets up, it's good to be back. No, he really actually wasn't there. The fourth night, Joey Hunt didn't show up. And they said, who'll say a few good words about Joe? Democrats were bragging on each other like Republicans and Democrats do. And I said, let me, because I got his speech committed. I said, if Joey Hunt were here, he would love to be back here because Joey Hunt was born not far from here. And his funeral, I found out he was born in Arkansas.
First of all, this theater was very vibrant and very alive when I was a kid. And it had a huge, it was hugely popular both for stage performances, musicians coming just like we had the other night, and there were movies, first-run movies here all the time. So I sort of grew up having this movie palace as a part of my life. But over the years it started to decline and became largely just sort of boarded up. And there were a number of people who, from my generation or older, remembered this theater, remembered what a vital part it was in their lives and in the cultural life of Miami. So they sort of bit by bit got together and decided that they would have found a nonprofit organization. I think I might actually have Barbara help me with this. And started working, restoring this theater in its original state, which in fact it is. This is probably more beautiful than when I was coming here. But single-handedly, they have raised the money from cookie sales, from popcorn, selling popcorn and soft drinks and candy. All the labor has been volunteer. This is an extraordinary emblem of what can be done when people decide that they want to preserve a part of their own heritage and part of their own history. And once again, this theater, because there's so few of them in the state, so few in the country, that it has become a rallying point for other theaters who want to go through the same thing, have the same kind of restoration. There's one thing that's rather interesting. I live in Hollywood. I overlook the Hollywood Basin, live in the Hollywood Hills, and Route 66 is Santa Monica Boulevard, which is just below where I live. So there's something in common. Route 66 here and Route 66 in California. It's the same road. I have a lot of friends who have made the trip from Chicago to California on Route 66, and they all say, didn't you say you were from Oklahoma? Aren't you from Miami? I said, yes. We stopped and saw that theater. It's fantastic. I can't believe that a town that size has a movie theater that is that opulent and that beautiful, and that they're just astounded. But it's that kind of thing. Mention one other thing. I was with my older sister. We were walking in France, and we went into this tiny little town, totally off the beaten path, into a place where we were going to buy some water and some, cookies and things like that. And there's a guy with Route 66 T-shirt. And so I walked up to him and I asked him, "Where did you get that T-shirt?" He said, "Oh, I went from Chicago to California in the Route 66. I said, "Oh, really?" I in a little town called Miami, Oklahoma. He says, Miami, of course, Miami. He had come here, he had visited the theater, and he was part of a motorcycle crew, I think came through on Harley Davidsons or something like that, enjoying American pop culture at its richest by going from Chicago to LA. Now that's the power of pop culture. And I understand from Barbara and also my sister and others of you who are involved with the restoration of the theater, that there are lots of groups that come through here. And they are most taken by the plaques on the seats. The chiefs of different tribes that are right around here have seats dedicated in their names, and they are just amazed that American Indians are still alive and thriving, and I would say, yes, they are right here in Ottawa County. Yesterday afternoon, Charlie and Lee was my sister, drove to this section of Route 66 that's still the original Route 66 with the white curbing, and it's just out in the middle of fields practically. It's county roads, but the Route 66 is still there. It's kind of amazing that out of everything that has changed in Ottawa County, there's still huge sections of Route 66 that are still visible. The 9-foot wide, narrow, one vehicle wide road. It's great. Yes, sir.
Fiddle music is passed down from generation to generation. Now we have lots of books. I have some books over here, and you know, you can find it written out, but you really kind of have to learn that style. So I'm going to let you ask some questions, but would this be a fiddle tune or classical?
And then the fast part, you know, they do that dance. Would you like to do that?